looking at problems in evolution concerned primarily with the evolution of species diversity or speciation, which is the area of evolutionary biology that is right at the interface between...
I had to hold it real close. It's on. Just.
I can try. Is that better? Okay, let me try holding up. I was just saying that my area of research focuses on speciation, which is at the interface between what Dr. Hovind characterized as micro and macro evolution, the distinction as he characterized it between science and religion. But it's important to note that my approach to evolution has always been from a genetic perspective. On a day-to-day basis, my research students and I sequence DNA as a way of getting information about relatedness among species, and we use that information to reconstruct evolutionary history. Our work focuses primarily on woodpeckers, not because these are a particularly interesting group per se, although they certainly are fascinating birds, but because they provide a good model for studying the rapid diversification of species. I'm also very interested in a thing called the molecular clock, which is a novel way of timing evolutionary events and establishing the antiquity of species. Dr. Hovind, in contrast, is a science educator with an interest in paleontology, which is to say the fossil record. So I'm a little bit concerned first that we're going to simply talk past one another to a considerable extent. Unavoidably, the discussion is going to come to focus to some extent on the fossil record, and particularly esoteric details of radiometric dating. That is, dating geological structures based on radioactive decay. And in this sense, you would have done much better to have gotten someone from the geology or physics department than me. Moreover, Kent is a young Earth creationist, which means that he believes the Earth is about 6,000 years old, as he indicated. And it seems to me that the debate boils down to his defense of that notion. This in turn means that we may hardly talk about some of the most interesting ideas in evolutionary theory, the philosophies and histories of science and religion, and the interface between the two. I'm also concerned because this is the first debate of this sort that I've engaged in, whereas Kent is a professional creationist debater. He actually makes his living doing this, which is amazing. Amen. I had the disconcerting experience last spring after agreeing to participate in this debate of receiving a number of email messages and phone calls from individuals and groups who seem to be professional anti-creationist debaters. Somehow word of this had gotten out on the internet, and some of these people seem to view these debates with much the same intensity and decorum as I remember Michigan State Notre Dame football games when I was an undergraduate, or maybe Notre Dame Southern Methodist games, or Southern Methodist Brigham Young games. I'm not sure. And I'm beginning to get that sense from the audience that that's what we're engaging here. It was also clear that the anti-creationists view Kent as the Hulk Hogan of creationist debaters, and that I best be prepared for a real pummeling. At about the same time, I spoke with Kent on the phone. He briefly told me about his belief system, that he was a young Earth creationist. He was very cordial, expressing none of the threatening mannerisms of a professional wrestler. But I was startled at one point in the conversation when he announced that he was going to convert me. So here I am, a novice debater about to get in the ring with an intellectual Hulk Hogan, and if I lose, I must submit to his belief system. Perhaps this is the true meaning of midlife crisis. Well, let me begin to disappoint right away by saying that I don't view this as a debate, but rather as an opportunity to explore some interesting ideas, some interesting cultural conflicts, and certainly Kent pointed to those, and some interesting philosophical conflicts. I also view this as an opportunity to fulfill in a very small way an obligation I feel I have to Wayne State students. I've taught at Wayne many, many years. I know that most of our students, most of my students, live at home and often live in two cultures. On the one hand, they attend a large, modern, very culturally diverse, secular university where science is taught hard, fast, and technical, with little class time devoted to reflection on the meaning of science and the conflict that a scientific worldview might have with traditional ideas. It's certainly not my intention to change anyone's worldview per se. I'm not going to convert you. But on the other hand, we have failed as university educators if you do not emerge from university with a different perspective. I mean, how can one learn about probability theory, the genetic basis of life, the intricate molecular mechanisms of cells, development in the sense of embryology, and yes, evolution, and not have a changed view? And so I view this debate as an opportunity to explore some of these conflicts. And as pummeled as I may be at the end of the debate, I'll be happy if I believe some of you have left with some understanding of the nature of the differences between the scientific method as philosophical system and theologically based philosophical system.